Ben Wienburg is the Cookie Monster on the left. And I don't know what game count we are at. I'm going to grab that in a second. But looks like Ben Wienburg is either game 3 or down a game. He has the turn 2 Rampant Growth, which is of crucial importance in the ramp mirror, getting to your big mana faster. So Ben passes back. Jacob on 2 mana looks like he is playing a Sphere of the Suns.
Looking at Ben Weinberg's list, because of the Sharpie, it kind of looks like it was written by a 7 or 8-year-old.
I'm sure people would say the same thing of my handwriting. But
my handwriting is god-awful. But
written in crayon.
Ben way ahead here. We've got the Rampant and then the Soldevi Simulacrum. And he's using the original Gen's Thorin art.
If this was a Soldevi Simulacrum, it would be much more threatening.
solemn Simulacrum.
Soldevi Simulacrum was like a fire breather. It was like a 2/4 cumulative upkeep fire breathed for colorless or something.
Yeah, that guy was a good card.
The fact that I remember what that card does really says something about the amount of my brain that is taken up by Magic knowledge. So,
Me too.
Jacob Baugh follows suit with a Simulacrum of his own. His the more modern version. And he gets a Swamp. So Ben Weinberg sends his Yens in. And the attack with Yens is always kind of interesting. Because attack with Yens can represent so many different things. It's like, do you want them to block? Like, a lot of times, especially when I know my opponent's hand or my opponent has a relatively low number of cards in hand, I will just let their Yens through, even if it's going to, even if I can very well eat it, because I don't want them to draw a card.
Absolutely.
I don't want them to get to the powerful cards that they need faster than me.
And we got the turn 4. It looks like we're going to see
And,
Primeval.
Despite being on the draw, Jacob Baugh has the first Titan, and the first Titan is often the most important Titan. Ben Weinberg did not have a Titan of his own to play. He simply deployed 2 more Sphere of the Suns.
I mean, his best hope right now is to either lay a Sword of Feast and Famine and somehow get through that gens and then do something, or to Beast Within that Primeval Titan.
Yeah, Ben Weinberg does not have access to any copies of the various threaten effects that have become much more popular since the World Championship was won by this exact deck.
So for those of you who are just joining us, this is the second match we're showing in round 8 of the Star City Games Open Series here in St. Louis. I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Brian Kibler. We're watching Ben Weinberg down a game against Jacob Baugh. It's Wolf Run. Looks very much like maybe card for card, the World Championship deck list. And Jacob Baugh black in his Wolf Run for a little touch of Olivia Valerian.
It's interesting. One of the sort of characteristics of this particular Wolf Run build with Galvanic Blast, Slagstorm, etc., and the full 4 Inferno Titans, is that it's extremely potent against creature decks. And Olivia Valerian is also just an extremely potent card against creature decks. Though I imagine it is a card that can also perform very, very admirably against the mirror match.
I see a Devil's Play.
Burn that out.
Boom.
But that does leave him in a bit of an awkward spot against against that. Against Karn. Pretty much anything leaves you in an awkward spot against Karn.
I'm going to say right now, I think that Karn is the biggest over-the-top top end you can do in Standard right now.
Yeah, I mean, there is very little that can beat Karn. Karn is he does cost 7 mana.
He sets the world on fire.
He's like, all right. He's like, this game is either over or starting over.
Now, what happens in the storyline? He wakes up and then resets the world. Is that what happens?
The whole thing is he was the creator of Mirrodin.
Right.
So he sort of forged the world as he desired, and apparently he did it out of other people's stuff.
Little did he know, though, that he had a little bit of taint in him from the Phyrexians that came through. Oh, no.
He appears to be doing all right with us here, though. Corrupted or not.
Inferno.
Titan. So Inferno Titan.
I love seeing that guy seeing play. I've always loved Inferno Titan, and so seeing him actually make an impact on the format, ×4. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Inferno Titan is a big gentleman. So Jacob Baugh, his Karn takes a little bit of a hit from Inferno Titan, but Karn has a lot of hits that he can take. He's quite the loyal gentleman.
And
oh wow!
I can't even see that. Was that Primeval?
That does not bode well for Ben Wienburg.
What did he put in there?
He didn't even bother to remove Inferno Titan. It looks like, I don't know.
What's he gonna do there?
His own Primeval. Does Jacob Baugh have a Doomblade in his hand? I see there are a pair of Doomblades.
There are Doomblades in the board. That seems amazing, actually, to be in the mirror and have Karn Liberated and Doomblade.
Yeah, he's not, and Memoricide. He's not messing around.
I mean, let's say he goes turn 3 Memoricide Primeval Titan. That might be the match, or the game might end right there.
Doomblade takes out the Inferno Titan. So Jacob has, one might say, it all. He has a Karn, he has a Primeval Titan, he has Wolf Run Nexuses up the wazoo.
He is in Paradise. Oh boy, Paradiso.
This is a lot of powerful effects being thrown back and forth, and more back than forth. More coming from Jacob Baugh than Ben Wienburg. It's kind of a cool deck. So basically, he messes with the mana a bit. He has 2 swamps, 1 each of Woodland Cemetery and Dragon Skull Summit, along with those the Rampant Growths and Sphere of the Suns that allow him to play those black cards. He has 2 copies of Little Voldaren in his main deck, and he cuts pretty much 3 mountains and a Wolf Run from the more traditional build. So, debating what to do with Karn here. I don't know that there's much he could do that isn't like remove your Sphere of the Suns that wouldn't win him the game. Well, Inferno Titan comes down. And
yikes. And then there's a Karn with 6 counters on it, and yeah, I see nothing for Ben Wienburg to turn this around.
And Karn eats another Titan. I want to see him restart the game.
It's great when Karn restarts the game.
I hope he does not kill Ben Wienburg and Ben Wienburg does not concede, and he restarts the game with several Titans. And then, but only then, will allow Ben Wienburg to concede.
I played Primeval Titan online Karn online for a long time, and it took forever for me to have the game actually play after a reset, because people would just concede before it ever happened.
Yeah. It is generally a foregone conclusion when the game actually restarts.
And Jacob plays with his mana a little bit to activate 2 Inkmoth Nexuses, and comes in here with Primeval and 2 Nexi, if that's how they pluralize them. And down comes a green-black and a black-red. Wienburg picks it all up.
And yeah, that game was over a little while ago, but for the scooping. So we definitely saw some pretty powerful effects going on right there. So Jacob Baugh decyborting, Ben Wienburg sulking.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that look on Ben Wienburg's face a lot of times over the years. He's been playing for a